joining us, the man of the hour,
the
Ethan,
one and only.
man, look at that luscious beard that Ethan's rocking today.
Give me a minute, faggots. I gotta get my audio together. Hello, how are you? Okay, I'm good. Listen, we played good ball out there today. We took the first game of the series. And we got
slices.
3 more to go. 3 more to go to bring the championship over to the Phillies, and then we're going to play the series. Probably not against the Astros. Fuck them. So it's a good time, everybody. Good time. Hello. Hi, folks.
Hello.
What's up?
What's going on? What is this on the screen? What is this evil?
Well, this evil is going to be here tomorrow. We're going to talk to the man himself, Casey Jones. Will be here live in the studio. We're going to find out what's going on.
This is the worst. This is a hate crime. What we're looking at here, folks, this defines hate crime. You sit there and you pose next to the gravestone of a man that died 100 years ago, and you do
he's
this.
throwing up the peace sign.
Is that?
No, he's playing rock paper scissors with him.
Well, technically,
I gotta say, then the tombstone wins. Yeah, because it's a rock. So good.
Yeah.
Me and Robert are on the same page.
So here's my feeling on this.
Give me a couple questions, because I think I got a press junket here. I gotta go over. I got Matt Jarbo. Let's not just remember that Matt Jarbo is out there. He said, I'd like to interview you about the Rippa thing. And that's a big opportunity. It's like being interviewed by Brian Stelter. I don't want to miss it.
I understand. So what was the other text underneath that message? It's cut off there, Ethan.
Oh, you were right. I did call him the N-word. I didn't want to. I thought if I... would you like to see it? Would you like to see what the rest of the message was? I mean, would it? You would. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right. He's got to consult with his employee. But while we're doing that, I don't think it's too far. I understand that it was meant to piss off Eric July, right? I get that. And Eric July has all the right in the world to be upset that someone went to his great-great-great-great-great-grandfather's grave and took a picture just to piss him off. I get that, right? So he's justified. Everyone else, though, that's freaking out about this, you act like it's a personal. It's not personal to you at all, right?
I'm not going that far. I'm not going that far either. I am not going that far saying that. Look, I just say Eric has a right to be upset, and anyone, and I will say this.
I mean, look at this hate crime. Do you think Edith Mary Tolkien wants those people who are not related? They're not related to her.
No,
that's
also J.R.R. That's also J.R.R.
diversity, my boy. Look at that.
I just think it's really disrespectful to grow your marijuana on the grave of Tolkien. I mean, that's just...
it's also Tolkien's grave too.
True.
It's a hell of a place to do hydroponics, boys.
Well, we're lucky there wasn't Metro on there.
Now, for the first time ever, I'm going to reveal. A lot of people wanted to see what the cutoff tweets were or cutoff texts were.
Ooh, exclusive.
And, yeah, I mean, hold on a second here. I gotta hide. Let me censor the.
BP says the cemetery private. It is not. It's a public cemetery.
Playing a little J. Cole.
We got 10 more memberships. Jesus, you guys are spoiling me today.
And a super chat.
And a super chat. Anthony was gifted a membership. Believe Media Today was gifted. Will was gifted. Bowles.
Tony, blow up my screen real quick.
Okay, man. I'm trying to do business, Ethan.
Don't do business right now.
iPad. He can't hold it up forever.
Yeah. We got disconnect, I say. We'll attempt to call you back. Went straight to VM. And then he corrects that. It says when. And then he said when. I said, okay, hang on. Phone lines are down. I think we have a storm. Even the gods were angry. I'm going to send you a StreamYards link sent through Twitter DM. Delivered.
All right, there it is.
That's all.
Because I know how
there
it
literally
is.
was nothing else to see.
Right. But here's the thing. Until that's get cleared up, right? Until he shows that, there's always going to be people going, well, I think Ethan said something else, or there's something else. There's missing context, right? Because that's how people claim stuff. So now that we've seen it all, there's no claim. You can't say that Ethan's lying. What happened now?
What happened now? Oh,
Ask Ethan
No, I was saying you just broke
about the
news,
tweet
so I
Eric
should
wanted
go in the
him
rest
to
of that
delete.
message.
Ooh. What's the tweet Eric wanted you to delete?
I'm not aware of. I don't remember. There's been so much weirdness. I really don't recall. I don't know what you're referring to. A tweet I wanted you to. Oh, that's right. What was that? What did it say? I don't know. Here's what was going on at the time. I just gotten off that stream with Yellow Flash a little bit earlier. And it seemed to me after that anytime I would say something, Eric would contradict me in his own tweets. Like I would sit there and he wouldn't say I'm contradicting Ethan. He wouldn't respond to me, but I'd sit there and I'd say, listen, I think like, the most important thing that we need to focus on as an independent comics community is, encouraging our creatives to seek out, valid criticism, to understand it and to improve their works, because ultimately, our movement will survive. It'll thrive or it'll die out on how good our stories are. So I think that's what we need to focus on. So I would tweet something like that, and then like 30 minutes later, Eric would tweet out, "Creative is easy. It's business that everybody needs to focus on. People don't know business,
That explains everything.
It's all about the business." And I'd be like, "What the hell? Like this is like the wrong message all the time." It's just wrong.
Quick thing, Ethan, before I forget, and before you ever have to go, I just want to say, with your recommendation to seeing my video on your stream the other night, thank you very much. I also want to say one point I agreed with that you said, which was we wish there were more people actually reading and reviewing and talking about these things. I've been saying that for years. I've seen so many people saying, "Oh, I got the book." You talk about it? I got the book. I got the book. It's like, why don't people talk about these things more? I'm pretty sure creators like you want to see them talk about it.
Well, there's nothing more.
Well, not Eric. Eric doesn't want anyone talking about his book. He DMCA's people when they link to discussions about his book.
There's that stuff going on. Like I gotta just. So that stuff would go on, and I would be like, "Don't listen? You don't have to false flag anyone. You don't have to strike anyone. You don't have to do this or that." And I think it just all kind of boiled over. And Eric just finally sent me this thing like, stop standing up to me, essentially, or I'm going to stop protecting you from, some influencers who want to take you down, essentially, is what that read like to me.
That's how I read it.
He's circling the drain and you're trying to throw him a lifeline. He's cutting the lifeline.
All right. So Jameis says, Godspeed, EBS, bunnies.
But if we ask
in the chat.
What extra?
What? Yeah, you cut off extra.
bunny, tombstone, and a tortoise. I wonder what that means.
That means what we're talking about now. The bunny is obviously Dick Matches, and the tortoise is Vito, and the tombstone is ISOM, who has brought us all here to enjoy. So, Ethan, why did you release this now and not earlier?
Well, because I have continually seen, first of all, I watched Nick Rekieta say that there was a blacklist of creative people. And I thought, boy, I think I'm on that list because of my, but I couldn't really say anything. And I've
everyone
really
in the
kind
world
of
thinks they're on that list.
Yeah, but I couldn't really say anything. So here's what ends up happening when I see that going on, and then I see that like every single day, Eric July is, after being humiliated by Nick Rekieta at his own hand, like he's constantly taking shots at my friend Nick and bullying him in the chat and really running him down. I think Nick's a good guy. And I mean, so every time, like, it used to be that I would go and visit and see what is Eric talking about today, and his live streams, his entire chat would be running down Nick. To the past couple of days, they were running down me too, and Eric would be saying these kind of oblique sort of things that were clearly aimed at Nick, and I don't know what to do, because like I know, like I've got this thing where he told me in private, like, you'd better shut up and not criticize me. And I basically, when I talked to him about it, we came to terms where the terms were, it's not going to be good business for us to be fighting. But that isn't really coming to terms with the real problem, which is the community is getting these really sick messages from him. About how the indie comic sphere should go. It should all be about sales, and it should all be about hyping up, this thing. And meanwhile, the product isn't good. It's embarrassingly bad. And people are dunking on us because we're not reading the comics that we're creating. And all of this stuff that is just, to me, it's poison. It's poisonous. And so I've been sitting on this thing where I'm watching him like bully people and stuff like this. And I realized Dick Masterson and Vito were driving him nuts, but he could just ignore them. Nick Rekieta isn't Dick Masterson. Like I think he's a good, honorable guy. You can say what you want about him, and he's a grifter and all these things, but I really think, but behind that, he's a good, honorable guy. And so, as I walked into his live stream today, and I just went, I got to show people, because otherwise, if I don't let it out there that like, this is what happened to me, then I'm going to forever be on Tony's show taking passive aggressive shots at Eric instead of being direct at, about like what he's doing, what he's up to, and what my opinion is. You know what I mean? It's like,
LG over here on Twitter is saying, considering you are all up in Tony's streams, it was only a matter of time before you tried to pull some BS.
I forgot your name was Tony. I didn't know who he was talking about.
He just like, what are you talking about?
That's the frog
Everybody
guy.
Everybody always forget about Tony.
Yeah.
Like they forget about Dre. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the tweet that people were talking about. So Eric responded, "Don't put that evil on us, me, Ricky Bobby. We ain't at anybody's throat. Verse assumes two parties at each other."
This is what this is his way of kind of, that was what I deleted. That was way back when.
Yeah. So people are wondering what it was that you deleted.
I wish I knew.
People are wondering what he means by versus assumes two parties at each other. He's basically saying that someone else is hating on him, and he's just the responding agency.
It must have been something along the lines. Yeah, it must have been something along the lines of, I think it's really important that people just accept like valid criticism and not worry about, where the criticism is coming from so much, or else you're going to get into a big fight like Eric is with Dick Masterson right now. And his response to that was, which I think is true. I still stand by that, but apparently that drove like it's a corny take. Yeah, right. I think that's still true. And I think like the thing is, again, like once this is like something he does, like when you kind of say, look, you are clearly, there's something going on, like Nick versus Eric, or Dick versus Eric, or Vito versus Eric. And there clearly is. He's taking time out of his day and his schedule to address them constantly. And then he'll kind of say, it's him who's only attacking me. He's attacking me. And it's like, clearly that's not true. I know that like you feel like you might not be the instigator, but you're perpetuating it,
And worst of all, it's causing him to be blind to actually look at good advice being given him, especially with this ISOM, the ministry trademark stuff, because basically he's more focusing on, it was caused by trolls, and think that's going to be the answer to all the issues because of what everyone else is saying. When it's like, no, dude, it doesn't matter where it came from, but his mind is so locked into not wanting to lose that he can't accept.
That's anything. See, that's all like a symptom of the same thing. Like,
I'm agreeing.
It's not, to me, again, like my concern isn't the lawsuit or Eric's legal responsibilities.
No. I'm talking about what's leading to his mindset of his reactions. It's because of all of this. It's all connected in that regard.
It's because of respect, Robert. You ain't giving him respect.
Yeah,
it's all about the disrespect. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I just think Eric doesn't understand when words come out of his own mouth.
Human interaction? Yeah, I agree. Eric does not understand normal human interaction. So we're owning our enemies for $186. But I want Ethan's thought on this tweet here. So Zach Brannigan, too, who someone said he's like paid shill. I guess that's like the new thing. Now, I was told I was a paid shill, that I get paid 50 cents every time I make a post on Twitter that attacks Eric July or something. So he says, remember, guys, making a brown Muslim superhero is woke identity politics, but a black Christian superhero who's named after the world's largest ministry school, right? And it cuts off because of the quote. So Eric quote tweeted this, right? And this is from July 20th, 2022. Nobody has ever claimed born Muslim equals woke. What you're watching is your arguments be diffused because you never actually bothered to listen to the position of your enemies. Also, theories are awesome, but I have no idea what the fuck you are talking about with, quote, ministry school. So now, this is them talking about ISOM over almost a year ago, right?
Yeah.
So there's other tweets too where they replied to that whole mess, talking about actually have pictures of the ISOM and everything. Right? Do you think that's going to affect his lawsuit? Like I say, hey, you knew about this a year ago.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I mean, it's not going to help. My thing is, I do remember, people trying to figure out what ISOM meant, what it referred to, because it was so strange. Like, and everybody Googled it and came up with the church. And so people were all saying it must be based on, does he work for the church? Is he being sponsored by this ministry? Like that was the conversation way back in, when the first book was announced. So it shouldn't be. I mean, we tend to memory hold things, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm reminded of things that I said that I don't remember saying, like that whole thing about the deleted tweet. I don't remember that. But I do. We must remember that it's like when ISOM's name was a mystery, people were searching it on Google and coming up with the ministry, and a lot of people, including myself, I think, were theorizing that it must be he must be Christian, and it must be some association with the ministry. Back then.
And by the way, ISOM's name was a mystery up until he made that video a few days ago. So
yeah, and it didn't need to be. That's another thing that I don't quite understand. It's like there are all these like clips of him. I saw one where it's kind of like what's the name ISOM, and is it an acronym? And he goes, "Stay tuned," and it's like, no, hold on a second. It's like
do you know when that was made, Ethan?
No, I don't. But I mean,
3 days after everyone was talking about on Twitter that ISOM was the church. 3 days later, he goes on and says it might be an acronym.
So even then, it took him to have a conflict with the church for him to say anything.
No, I would think that if they're on Twitter going, hey, this is connected to the largest ministry school, and you're like, I don't know what this is. And then 3 days later, you get asked about it. I think that would be the time to go, hey, guys, this has nothing to do with the church, right? That would be the opportunity to go, no.
Instead, he's like,
right. It's a simple question. It's not like, here's the question. Did ISOM come from planet Earth? Stay tuned. You'll find out all about, like, that's what, but is ISOM an acronym? The answer is no, it's just his name. Like, you know what I mean? Unless it is an acronym, in which the answer is, you'll see. Yeah, it might be.
All right, we got Saggy Melons to leave YouTube because I got more viewers in here.
Oh, nice. Hold on. Look, I might have to go. Yeah. All right. I gotta run, guys. One last question before I'm over to Matt Jarbo, the elegant Matt Jarbo.
You got anything, guys, that you can think of off the top of your head like that?
I got my question now.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Oh, do you dye your beard?
Okay.
Ethan?
Yeah, I do. Twice a week, I go to the barber, and they rinse a little. They call it blending, color blending. Yeah, and I mean, it got a little crazy. This one kid dyed my beard black right before Tim Pool, which wasn't great. Like, he got fired. Got fired from the barber shop. I'm on Tim Pool with like fucking tar on my face. But no, this is the normal color. This is what it would be. Or, this is what it was. So I like it. I think you'll be surprised. Just about everybody dyes their beard when they get to be my age. So, heads up. It's coming for you too, pal.
Never. Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys have a good one. Take care.
Have fun with Matt.
Thanks for stopping by.